Yes guys, welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. This is the aftermath, and after Manchester United lost 2-1 against Sevilla in the Europa League semi-final, the season is over for the Reds. It was an absolutely gutting result, especially the way the last 20 minutes unfolded. You know, the first 65 minutes by Manchester United, I thought, were pretty good. We created so many opportunities. We should have taken those opportunities. Marshall, Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno, Pogba, you know, they all had opportunities to score. Never took them. The only goal we got came from the penalty spot. It was the same story against Copenhagen. So many opportunities. But this time, it wasn't even a out of this world goalkeeping performance which presented us from winning. And you could mention fatigue, but ultimately, you've got to look at being more clinical in these games, in these crucial stages in competitions. And after 65 minutes where I thought we were very good, but just didn't score enough, we obviously made a massive mistake for the goal. Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, they're not central in the pitch at all. They're very they're far over to the left, way too far over to the left. Which has meant Aaron Wan-Bissaka's squeezed in and is almost in line with the far post when the cross coming in. Lindelof switches off. Maguire's in a weird position. Wan-Bissaka doesn't track the man, and it's a goal. And United just didn't have the legs to change the game. You know, you could see players kind of looking to the bench, hoping something was going to come. The changes didn't come until there was like 5 minutes left to go, and that shows two things. Oli doesn't trust in his bench, in those players on the bench, to be able to change games. I think that was a mistake, because you look at, you know, Mata, Igalo, even Lingard potentially. They could potentially change the game, especially when there's tired legs out there. But those changes never came, and it was a disappointing way to go out, because the last 5-10 minutes you never really got the feeling we were going to score. But for the first 65 minutes, we were the best team on the park. So it's hard to be overly critical of everyone. But two mistakes. Brandon Williams falls asleep on the back post. Suso scores. Lindelof falls asleep. The whole defence falls asleep. And De Jong scores. And United are out of the competition. After such a great start, after 8 minutes, superb pass by Martial. Pick out Rashford's run. He obviously has his shot saved, and then, you know, the foul comes in, and it was a correct decision. We should have had a penalty just before half time, but you can't even look towards that. You know, oh, we should have had another penalty, or the referee was a bit shit, which he was, because we had so many opportunities. You just simply have to take them. And I thought once we went 2-1 behind, the fatigue really kicked in, and we looked like we were shot to bits. It has been a long season. The season's been going for over a year. And I think ultimately that's what we have to look at, because it's now over. I'm not going to sit here and do player ratings. Look, I think there were mistakes made by individual players on the day. You know, Lindelof, Williams for goals. You know, going forward in terms of striking positions and with opportunities to score. You could mention a few of those players as well that were possibly to blame and didn't have great times in front of goal. But ultimately, we have to look back now on the end of the season, and has this season been a success? Let's look at that. Have we improved since this time last year? Overwhelmingly, yes. Has Ole Gunnar Solskjaer been perfect? No, he hasn't been perfect. But has he shown that he deserves time? He deserves backing? Yes, he does. We're hearing a lot of talk about comparisons in points tallies, and people bringing up, you know, other managers and this, that and the other, and trying to jump out now at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, 3 semi-finals, it's easy to critique. But I feel like it's a bit unfair, to be honest. I know people are always going to criticise, but it's a little bit unfair, because when you look at the bigger picture, United have improved. People say no trophies in 3 years. That's not all Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault. I think we should have won a trophy, and you'd expect to convert 3 semi-finals into a trophy. And Oli has to look at that, because if that continues in the next season or two, you know, he's no longer going to be Man United manager if you can't win trophies. So he has to rectify that. But his remit this season was to improve United, get us moving in the right direction, set those foundations and get Champions League football. And we finished third. We finished third. No one expected us to finish third. Nobody. A lot of pundits and all that writ us off. They said we're going to finish outside the top 4. We finished third. Only Liverpool and City finished above us. So it's shown that there has been some improvement. Now, if we could have turned one of those semi-finals into a trophy, I feel this would have been the best season since Sir Alex left. Obviously now it's not. But in terms of the progression we've made, the way we feel towards this team, how confident I am when they take to the pitch, the way we play, actually, I feel I haven't felt better about a Manchester United team since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And that's down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. The facts are, his transfer policy has been good. The football, in the main, has been good. You know, our front three scoring more goals than any other front three about. It's like, they're all young, scoring goals. Yes, they can improve. But look what Ole's done to them. You know, the football in the main, especially when we've had our good players available, has been pretty good. And I think people criticise him for his lack of coaching. Some of the football we're playing, that's down to being well drilled and being well coached. You know, finishing third was above expectation, so he's met that. But I think one thing that's come out throughout all of this is he doesn't trust the squad. Now, he wasn't going to come out at the start of the season and say, I can't stand half of these players. He was never going to do that. He was never going to do that. But he obviously doesn't trust some of them. Some of those players that were playing regularly for half the season, they're not around no more. Pereira, Lingard, Mata, all these guys, they're not playing anymore. For all of our personal feelings towards those guys, whatever, they're not playing. Phil Jones, not playing. Lukaku, Sanchez, all these guys, gone. Smalling, gone. Like, he's actually done what many fans would have done in terms of the outgoings. And when you look at his incomings, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, they can improve, but they've improved our defence. One of the best defences in Europe. I think we might have the best defence in the top 5 leagues in Europe. Now, sometimes stats lie, and that's, I think, when you look at United's defence, it doesn't look like the best team in Europe. But the facts are, we've been very good defensively. There's still room for improvement there, though, again. But we've shown we've lacked that depth. He doesn't trust the squad. And as a result, it's cost us. It has cost us at times. I mean, look at the semi-final against Chelsea. Should be having a bigger team there. Look at the game against Sevilla. You know, after 60, 65 minutes, we need to change things up. We look to the bench, we've got nothing. So, it shows you to compete on all 4 fronts, we need to strengthen the team and the squad. And I have no doubt there'll be more players that leave. But we have to get those players in. And the 3 semis, yes, it has to get better. They have to turn into finals and trophies. But it also shine a progression. Finished third. Got to the latter stages of every cup competition. It's not a bad problem to have, do you know what I mean? What you don't want to happen is that becomes a mental deficiency for these players. But I don't think it will. I don't think it will. And whilst that has to get better, you have to ask yourself again, are Manchester United in a better place than they were last season? Yes. It's as simple as that. On and off the pitch. And Solskjaer deserves a lot of credit for that. For the way he's got the team spirit going. The way he's managed some of these players. I can't think of any player that's really gone backwards under his management. De Gea maybe just that. But again, like, you know, is that down to Ole? I don't think we can blame that on Ole. He's managed the squad. You know, there was talk about Pogba leaving. Now he's set to sign a new deal. Bringing in the likes of Bruno, who were absolutely fantastic for the team. And thinking of that Sevilla game, the way he kind of had that altercation with Lindelof. That's what I want to see. Passionate players. I was glad Lindelof gave some back as well. I actually thought Lindelof played a good game until that moment. But ultimately you're remembered for that moment. Do you know what I mean? And it was a bad moment. But it was good to see them give him back. It seems like there's that winning mentality in the squad. We want to win. We're expected to win. And we win more often than not. We've suffered 2 defeats since January. Both in semi-finals. And that's massively disappointing. But with a better squad, I think it's a different story in both of those games. I really do. And that's why it's imperative that the board get behind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this summer. We did it to Jose. He got second. We didn't back him. He cracked. And everything went downhill from there. You can't repeat the same mistakes of the past. And I have a fear that they might do us over. They might do us over. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I doubted him. I didn't know whether he was the right man to be given the job permanently. And I've been a little bit nervous about, I thought he could have possibly been gone in Christmas, you know, around the Burnley and Liverpool defeats. But ultimately, he has earned our support. Anyway, he's a fucking legend, you know what I mean? He deserves our support. Anyway, I always want him to succeed because of that fact. But you can't put realism away. And I'm unsure whether he's the man to win us a Premier League or win us a Champions League. But I want him to prove me wrong. And I also believe he's earned the time to be able to prove us wrong, us doubters. And hopefully bring those trophies back to Manchester United. Because so far, in his first full season, he has made massive progression. Now, silverware needs to be added to that to keep his job in the long term. It's as simple as that. But he's shown he's deserved the backing from the board, from the fans, in this summer and next season. And let's just get behind him. Let's get behind him. Seeing these, you know, people finally coming out, being able to, it just baffles me. Because when you look at what's been done in a very weird season, when you look at what's been done, there's been progression made. And Man United are moving in the right direction. I'd still only give the season a C plus. Because we have overdone expectations in the league, but we haven't overdone expectations in the cups. Because if you told me we would have got to 3 semi-finals, I would have told you we've won one of them, surely. And we didn't. So I think there has been disappointment this season. But overall, you've got to look at the positives. And the positives are that Ollie's moving us in the right direction. He's taking us forward as a football club. Now, hopefully, he can push us on again. Because that's the task for him and the players, to push on another level again. To those players that have come in, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, yes, they've improved us. Push on again. Martial, Rashford, yes, you've had very good seasons. I know Rashford tailed off a little bit after his injury and after Corona, but you know, you've had very good seasons. Push on again. Greenwood, can you better your goal scoring tally? Push on again. Pogba, we've not been, you know, I thought Pogba was very good against Sevilla, but we haven't been able to see the full array of Paul Pogba's talents because, you know, he came back after an injury and that. So can we see that next season now? You being that leader, being that focal point. We need players to step up and improve again, because yes, there's been improvements, but this isn't where we want to be. Third and 3 3 semi-finals. This isn't where we want to be. But this season, you can accept it and you can say, yo, we've seen signs of progression. Let's move on. Let's get behind Ollie. And hopefully next season's an even better one. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. I know it's a little bit of a different aftermath and you're expecting player ratings and all that kind of stuff, but there you go. Get your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. I have been AdamMcKola. This has been AdamMcKola TV. I'm out of here.